Pokemon. People love Pokemon. Either they are Gen 1ers, Gen 20s, everyone loves Pokemon. Which, I understood it. Pokemon is one of the most popular Pokemon games of all time, and got a lot of hype about it. Even though some flaws. And today, we're doing 10 favorite Pokemon lists. First off, the rules. Hey, Metal?
Sure thing, Shadow. Number 1, this list is based off Shadow rough opinion, meaning no confusion and misleading information, such as Pokemon like Blaziken learn Flame Wheel move or misunderstood how Totodile's Rage double damage effect works. Number 2, we will ranking Pokemon moves ability stats as well information from Pokédex without any bizarre nonsense stuff like Lava Snail does. Number 3, we are focusing on Pokemon game universe only, meaning no usage of any non-manga universe ridiculous power levels such as Pikachu KO ground type. With all be said, hope you are doing well and enjoying this video. Now back to you, Shadow.
Thank you, Metal. With that being said, let's begin. Phalanx, the formation Pokemon. This is a pure fighting type Pokemon that is adorable. I mean, he had a multi-version of himself. That's adorable. And its move pool is impressive, including its signature move known as No Retreat, which is the best stasis move since it does modify all the stats, exit HP, with one stage. The only catch is that you stuck in the field, which is basically a mean look thing. Or Shadow Tag if Mega Gengar evolve. I said Mega Gengar! Jeez! And the ability Power Armor? Meh. But Divine is interesting because if its stats lowered, its attack stat increase. Pretty interesting. And maybe a counter to Intimidate, if that has.
You know, it's sometimes really annoying when Game Freak nerfs ability that's alright before. But seriously, it's really stupid.
Yeah, indeed. Hey look, Eggman negative lava form! Sorry for the making fun of Game Freak's stupid way to make a nerf. Phalanx is a Pokemon that I think it'd be interesting if it had a better stats. Matter of fact, if I look at the stat total, it looks like he's a non-evolved Pokemon. Which I think I understood why I want to make it a fan art of Phalanx had a Dragon type evolution. I understood it. But unfortunate, that's the only reason why Phalanx is on this list. Not having has that total and not evolved Pokemon, it's sad to see that. Sorry about this, Phalanx.
I have no regrets.
Talonflame, the Scorching Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that I feel interest on it because it's a falcon bird that had a fire type moves. And it's a Pokemon that evolved from the tiny Robin Pokemon. Which, that's pretty neat. And Talonflame move pool is impressive. And thanks to the ability Gale Wing, this Pokemon is goddamn powerful with it. Though it got nerfed, seems like this bird doesn't go down without a fight, but instead fly from the ashes. Hi, it's me from the future to correct myself. Yeah, I got it wrong. Gale Wing does not make the Pokemon more stronger, but instead, it make the Pokemon go first, even though its stats is low. Yeah, I should have realized that. So, whoopsie daisy. I also like to point out that Talonflame basis is also impressive. It's not just based off a Parrot Falcon, but also based off the Red Kite, the Goosehog, okay, Waxwing, what? And the Japanese Robin. I did not know there's a Japanese robin bird. Wow. That's impressive. But unfortunate, Talonflame type combo make it weak to rock type much worse. including the self-rock strategy, and its stats are not very good. Sorry about this, Talonflame, but the fact is facts.
I kick all limbos that join my squad.
I'd rather kick Wukongs. Same as always, Dave. Same as always, Frank.
Stoutland, the big-hearted Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that is interesting because of the lore involved with Stoutland's line. Namely, Hernia, Pokedex says in Ultra Moon and
Slice my ass off.
that's probably the ancestor of all dog Pokemon since the ancient time. Which, understood, humans and dogs spawned 1,000 years ago. Which is nice if Houndoom had a sea treatment as a Stoutland that instead of people.
Oh, it's a dog type, meaning it's an evil Pokemon! Ah, it's a satanic! Oh, it's a normal Pokemon, that's cute, I like normal dogs!
Apologize about that, but anyway, Stoutland. He's a good boy, since his Pokedex does also mention that he uses shed fur as the protection from the cold. It's also a good babysitter in the Moon Pokedex. With that, I see the potential why anyone wanted this Pokemon in real life. The only thing I have to complain about is why the heck that Stoutland lines are not part of Gaia region, which is based off UK. My homeland, you
shithead.
face. Like, seriously, this is a missed opportunity. You did that in Kalos region. Why you didn't do that?
And if anyone gonna say anything, yes, I will is already in the game as a digital Pokemon, which is stupid. Seriously, it's a Scottish dog. You half-wits. If it's a dog that is a data, it should be a thing in the game, you half-wits.
Ugh. I don't understand why Game Freak just cut the Pokedex in half like that. But at least we got Lillipup in the Sword and Shield to make us happy again, which is nice.
You might have Flap and the rich lady under your spell, but it's gonna take more than that to impress me.
Golok, the
Automaton.
that word. He is based off a golem that's half filled plate on his chest to prevent his powerful control. Which, that's interesting. Because we do have Golok Pokedex mention that, and we do see that what happened when Golok's plate come off in the anime. Yeah, I know, Mel has addressed that already, but if we go for the anime that doesn't controvert itself, they need electric type, doesn't affect on ground types, as well match up with the timeline, then that would be fine. I mean, do I have to bring it up that
Happy uses sleep powder on Squirtle and Squirtle falls asleep. The referee declares that Squirtle is unable to battle and therefore Happy wins the round. What? What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't need that controversial.
Okay, let's get back to the point.
And we have here Golem's moveset. Most of the moves are radio. I said most because aside from those moves, most of the Golem's moves are all radio, including the fact that Golem had abilities that make it more powerful. Namely, Iron Fist, which will enhance fist moves, and No Guard, which will make the moves that have worse accuracy much better aim, which is a good ability. Although Golok also had an ability known as LOZ, ability that's mixed. On one hand, it is the kryptonite to the move known as Fling, which Golok can learn that. A move that enhanced by the item you have, such as Iron Orb. But this ability prevents that, which bizarre. But on the other hand, Golok also learn Trick, a move that swap the item that you have with a point. As you can say, that is a trick book. But aside that ability, Golem is still a great Pokemon. A strategy that involves an enhanced strength or accuracy increase, a Golem that protects those who cannot defend themselves, and a great transporter. which he can fly.
You're freaking right. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, he's a freaking statue. How the heck does that even make sense?
Man, Golurk's so cool. Well, let's see what we can do anyway. Oh, Golurk is flying. Oh, Golurk is flying.
Oh, Golurk is flying.
You were saying, Stan? Huh. You know what? I just now realized why Golurk doesn't have a G-Max. Yeah, we get his Dynamax, but not a G-Max. Like, why? His body got got it, but yet Golurk does it? Why? I mean, he could have the design of the Stone Guardians from Atlantis, the Lost Empire, or maybe Metroplex from 4th Cybertron, which he would do this to Eternatus.
Jesus Christ! Is that all you've got?
Like, why? Ugh, what if? I guess Gen 5 get a lot of hate by fans and Game Freak themselves. Typical.
Dear Megatron, what did it feel like to be smashed by Metroplex over and over and over? Jesus Christ! Is that all you've got? Pah! It was nothing. It was like a massage. A very violent but pleasant massage.
Yeah, I had 2 in 1 section because, those 2 Pokemon are Moths. And no, it's not one you think of. It's these 2. Frostmoth, the Frostmoth Pokemon. And for Corona, the Sun Pokemon. First off, ha 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 ha, really funny Pokedex, you have to make it ironic, ha 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 ha. Secondly, these 2 Pokemon are basically yin-yang of each other. I mean, the Pokedex that Volcarona have bring in the fact that it's a savior, not just the Pokemon, but also humans when they almost freeze to death and the volcano ash blocked the sunlight. And Volcarona had to use his powers to help them. And Frostmoth? Yeah, he's basically an evil Elsa in the Pokemon universe.
Well, I will not visit my cousins after reading this.
Anywho, the yin and yang also involved with a type. I mean, fire and ice are basically the most common thing involving yin and yang. I mean, fire melt ice, and ice can, well, neutralize a fire. I mean, think about it. Fire heat up and make people warm up, and ice are freezing cold and make people frost too. Okay, you gotta move on from that. We also see Frostmoth moveset, which gives indication that he's one powerful boss, as well as great support type with Reflect, Light Screen, Helping Hand, and White Guard. And its ability Shield Dust? Alrighty, even though it's effective from Bird, which is a major problem for Ice Bug types, you know, it double damage. Although, Ice Scales is an ability that prevented from double damage from special moves, which is interesting if its new type weakness doesn't affect on it, which I get to that point. For Corona, however, it's more like the attacker Pokemon since it does have strong moves, and it has stat moves that increases more, well, powerful moves. Namely, its Fiery Dance, Heat Wave, Fire Blast, and Hurricane. And thanks to its stat moves, namely Calm Mind and Quiver Dance, it's pretty much more powerful than usual, and more bulky. Now, let's go for Volcarona's abilities to see.
Thankfully, I already don't remember this.
What the Allspark is this? Now, granted, yes, I understand that Spawn and Flame Body ability is alright, But, there's a problem. Most of the Volcaro's strongest attack are fire and flying type. And Flame Body? Do I have the same about that? And if I'm gonna ask, no, I am not asking one of the Volcaron ability removed, because I'm pretty sure everyone getting sick and tired of Game Freak has some stupid I mean, do I remind you that the main reason why people hate Gen 8 is because they move anyone's favorite Pokemon and the moveset that anyone most fond of. Okay, maybe not all that, but still. Maybe they're including a third ability that could help out Volcarona with it. That could be nice. Anyway, Volcarona and Frostmoth are pretty good Pokemon. Like, really. Their moveset is good, and abilities, well, at least Frostmoth, alright. And the Pokedex? Yeah, now I'm gonna explain it again. And the designs are impressive, including the bases. Volcarona is based off of Atlas Moth, which had a wings that had a snake head that get the shit out of Liam Heartless. And Frostmoth? Oh, look at it! Oh, look at it! Oh!
I want it so much.
I never heard you talk about my Warframe.
Well, that probably, because that butterfly isn't cute nor majestic, as Volcarona and Frostmoth does. Always accidentally spread toxic powder while flying around and care for those who inhale it. With that flying type combo, it's stereotypical types of all kinds that's rivals with normal flying type Pokemon.
They had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
Oh, and one more thing, it looked like a toy that was made by 4-year-old.
Damn!
Okay, moving on from Iris Rose Sombra. These two buffs are brilliant. Info removal, bases, design, and the cons? Well, Volcaron ability is not impressive as Frostmoth does. I mean, sure, Flame Body ability does make hatching much easier, and Swarm ability, well, it does enhance bug type moves. But still, and the pre-illusions are adorable and impressive as well with the design. Snob? Wait, Snob? Really? That's the name you go for? A simple snot-nosed thing?
Yeah.
Look like a type of marshmallow that anyone, well, wanted reserved. And Warframe? It's one of those coolest pre-illusions of all time. Look at it! It's a lava that have fiery texture, which is made better than a simple caterpillar design. Although, the way to evolve Warframe into Volcarona is ridiculous. Seriously, level 59? Really? Are you serious? Ugh. And if anyone gonna ask which buff are better at combat against each other, well, I think I'll go for Volcarona, since it does have a move pool that seems stronger than the Ice and Bug type move does. Plus, the type advantage. Yeah, I don't think Frostmoth had an advantage over Volcarona's fire type moves. In fact, the Ice type are notorious for having the flawless resistance of all time. I mean, everyone asking Game Freak to buff Ice type from pathetically weak to powerful Pokemon type. I mean, look at
Yeah, however you pronounce that.
I mean, look at this YouTube video. It implies that the Ice type fans are really not happy that the Ice type represents being weak and, well, not very advantage over types. Hell, Dragon type can steamroll them. Jeez. Hell, it's got replaced by Fairy type, who is immune to Dragon type moves. Show that Game Freak are really don't know how to make the Ice type best way to do it. Seriously, what the heck is going on with that, eh? Hi, me from the future again. Sidetrack. While I try to find the after breakfast Ice type video, I discovered that there's a video mentioned that Ice type does get that buff that had to replace hail with snow. which is replace the chip damage to increase defense on the ice type that these summoners use. So yeah, that statement is a bit moved. Now what we truly need is the ice type resistant upgrade. So yeah, minor update there. But still, Frostbound is the 6th place and Frost Corona is the 5th place. Because of those reasons.
And the great thing about these opportunities is that you can't even mess them up. Fire damage is so guaranteed that even with his entire team backing him up, this sniper that was owning my team can't get out alive.
Sniper turret!
You cannot stop me! My skill is limitless!
Shiftry, the wicked Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that based off a Tengu, a mischief troublemaking demon that lived in the forest where he protected and had the ability to use the wind through its fans. Hence why Shiftry had a hat that shaped like a leaf to perform wind power, which it does reference in the Pokédex, where it does bring in the fact that it's a guardian of the forest as well as a leafy fan that causes a strong wind that level of freaking house? The frick? Okay, I think I need Gold Dog with a Cloud 9 ability to help me out with that. We also can see that Shiftry's moves is impressive. Well, except they're absorbed.
Look at this. You see that? Get that shit out of here. Now look at this. See that? Now that's what I call taste.
Anyway, we can see the potential on these movesets. They involved with Heat Wave, Leaf Blade, Knockback, Payback, Solar Blade. These moves are impressive and useful depending on the abilities that Shiftry have. Well, depend on the generation, of course. You see, Shiftrys have the ability that modify its speed when sunlight, make Shiftry wake up early, and we had Pickpocket, which is the ability that steal items from opponents if Shiftry uses contact moves. But you know what ability Shiftry now have in Gen 9 DLC? The Wind Rider ability, which it was a central ability of Brumblegas, which is alright if you learn Tailwind. And you know why I said that? Because this ability is immune to wind-based move, except Sandstorm for some reason, as well gain a attack boost modifier, but also activate if the user or ally use Tailwind, which Brumblegas does not learn that move. But you know what Pokemon does? Shiftry. That means Shiftry had a strategy that make it stronger, not just immune to these moves, but also increased by its own moves. And if Wind Rider does affected by the Sandstorm, then Shiftry would have holy, I'll spark that impressive.
Holy name of Groundon! If Wind Rider had that effect, then I would be Shiftry's partner in crime.
Yeah, and then it give you massive speed with a Tailwind active.
Hey, is it right to nerf Tyranitar's ability like he did with Gyarados?
Oh, don't you friggin' dare! Don't you dare get me involved!
Anyway, Shiftry is, well, impressive with the move and abilities, and I like its design. Heck, if I do the commentary video, I could use Shiftry for reasons. Either demons, trees, ninjas, or the franchise that I like. Now, before I go finish off the Shiftry list, I'm gonna address the Pokédex. Now, the people assuming that Shiftry was a bird, which I highly doubted it is a literal bird Pokemon. I think it's referring to the Tengu known as Kasaro Tengu. Sorry I butchered that name there. That's a Tengu that had a bird-like feature. Named for the head and the wings of a bird. Which, I think that's what the Pokédex is referring to. Now, if this Pokédex is telling the truth about the legend it says, I doubted that. I mean, we do have the information that seems plausible, but then retconned by the other reason. Namely, Bennett says that it's a vengeful doll that wanted to take revenge on its previous owner for banning it and discard it. But its pre-illusion controvert that. I mean, really? And do anyone remember what I said before? Which it does reference in the Pokédex, where it does bring in the fact that it's a guardian of the forest. Yet the one before this Pokédex came around, it says that Chief Tree stand on the top of the tree thousands years ago. Thousands years ago, eh? Suspicious. Like, why they had to change from he was top of the tree 1,000 years ago, that mentioned it had a fan to make the wind, to says it was a bird Pokemon, which it mentioned it had beak and wings. Weird. Which, that's the main reason why I put a rule state I don't have to follow ridiculous things like that. Like, it literally retcon what it does.
Yeah, that is pretty much weird to see that. Like, it's basically like in the Pokédex says, my jaw is broken. Yet the one before, in the trailer for us, where I bite Mega Steelix beard. Like, what the heck was that? Did that rogue tongue literally have to mess around with information like that? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, that doesn't add up either.
Well, it's pretty much obvious. Yours is a phony and I have no reason to be a pretty homie. The frick do you mean by that? Well, yours should be a childhood ripoff, and Childhood is an elf. That's right! Oh shit.
You know, it would be a smart idea if you don't go synthetic mad level of racism there, right?
Shut the f*** up and get me out of this hole.
My point is that the information that the Pokédex have may have some twisting up their own words. Like the one before Ganon being a racist bastard. Anyway.
I don't care what they throw at me, even if it's
time to nice hustle, tons of fun. Next time, eat a salad.
What? You bleeding idiot! Manage to dial on me!
Bad! Yes!
Oh no!
Aegislash, the Royal Sword Pokemon. And yes, people, I will pronounce Aegislash as Aegislash. Not Aegislash that anyone using. It's pronounced Aegis. I mean, it's a Greek word, people. Come on. It's right there. Like, what the heck? It's like basically called this thing that's clearly a Sunlight design a knight. Like, what the heck, Sega? What the heck? It's clearly a design of the Sunlight, not a knight. I'm just really confused why anyone is assuming that's a way to do it. Like, what the heck? Anyway, Aegislash, the Royal Sword Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that based off possess Sword and Shield, which, right? But it's also based off of mythical weapons. They involve with Excalibur and Dugunal. Okay. While Dugunal is a sword I don't know about it, Excalibur, however, I do know about that sword. That's a legendary sword that chose Arthur as the king for England, after the previous one passed away. In fact, the Master Sword is based off the Excalibur sword, which that makes sense, since Legend of Zelda games are based off England, in King Arthur's story.
Well, actually, it's not based off Excalibur since I found an AI.
Well, actually, it is. And just because the AI says so does not mean it's true. I mean, why the hell does it require pull the sword out of the stone? That's clearly involved with the sword in the stone story. So shut the f up and don't use the AI that do the lazy route. Just don't use that AI.
Hey, don't look at me. I also assuming Master Sword is based off Excalibur as well, since the full Master Sword evolution video is on YouTube.
Anyway, after that at-night trip, Aegislash is the Pokemon that based off Excalibur as alongside with Master Sword that had the best type combo, as well as has some moveset that's impressive, including its signature move, King Shield, where they have the best defense, gets special and physical attack, and can nullify it, which is the best way to do it against all moves.
For heck's sake, why does everyone treat King Shield like a god tier move when it doesn't protect against status moves and leaves it susceptible to taunt? Its hardest counter. At least Baneful Bunker and Spiky Shield actually protect against those with their additional effects.
I'm going to allow that.
Okay, granted, yes. King Shield and other stasis moves they learn could be unable for 3 turns by the move Taunt. And the worst thing is, King Shield, as alongside with the stats, got nerfed in the later generation, in Gen 8, when the game is called Sword and Shield. Really creative there, eh? But I gotta ignore those issues because Aegislash moveset is impressive. I mean, he had a lot of sword moves, damage and stasis move. Like, god damn! And it's impressive when it involves the stats. That's involved with 140 or 150 if we go for the original stats. And thanks to its signature ability, Stasis Change, it had ability to change from 140 defense stats to 140 attack stats, which that's impressive. Well, you had the option to change from the attack to the defense and back, depending on what the generation involved. And yes, I said generation because in the debut, you use any stasis move to change from the attack to the defense form. But in 7th generation onward, it requires its signature move. Now, Game Freak should have also do that to Aegislash stats, where they should transfer to the most stats, despite the fact that Aegislash had the least amount of stats, which they should give it to it instead of just cut off. So like, what the heck? That's impressive that Aegislash had a way to do that. But you know what is more impressive? The shiny form. God damn, that's impressive. With a black, red, and gold replace the white, gold, and purple color, which pretty impressive. Matter of fact, there's a lot of black shinies that people are hype about it. Heck, even Mega Rayquaza get a lot of hype by that shiny color, which is impressive. Now, I originally got to criticize Aegislash Shield for having a weird hole colors, where for some reason in shield form it had a white spot, but when in sword form it's black. Like, what the heck was that? But then I numbered as a Beyblade character thing? Whatever. And it had the ability to switch from the attack mode to the defense mode, and when it does that, it holds on its sides shut or open, depending on what form it's in. Which, that's probably the main reason why Aegislash had that mechanic. I like that. And hey, if Aegislash returned in Legend ZA, or in Gen 10, maybe Game Freak give Aegislash the hidden ability known as Sharpness, because, well, I'm pretty sure Aegislash deserved the title of that ability, and maybe they could do that to its evolution line. Not depend on the ability that seems useless to them. Says it, look at the move pool. Does this look like the worst accuracy, mate? But aside from those problems, H// is still pretty impressive, with or without those nerfs. Lucario, the Aura Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that anyone really hype about it. Not just because its appearance looked cool, but also an appearance in the movie where he had an ability known as Aura, which is an ability that both humans and Pokemon have, where implying that Pokemon and humans are not very different.
Your movie is bad and you feel bad about it.
Stan, what the hell you mean by Lucario's film is bad, despite the fact it's top 5 best film? Like, why the hell you said that, mate?
You also put a mean bragging about it in the end of it, which Dr. Zoidberg never said.
Your music's bad and you should feel bad.
So we may ask, where in name of Arcus did you get that up?
From someone who criticized TTC Chaos with roll scene?
Okay, moving on from that. Like I said, Lucario is very popular because of the design, movie, and lore involved with him. So much so, that he's also a part of the Super Smash Bros. Game, where his ability Aura becomes a mechanic where, if he gets damaged, he gains stronger. Which, that's pretty impressive. And as someone who plays Super Smash Ultimate, I am impressed by that mechanic. Before Nintendo Switch cartridge readers suddenly shutting down by that stupid laziness. We also can see that Lucario's moveset is impressive, including 2 moves that form as a combo, Sword Dance and Close Combat. Which, you know, I love modifying moves, which is pretty impressive, as long as it's not stupid or bizarre. And Close Combat is pretty strong but risky move. And I said risky move because Lucario had a 70 defense stat, so yeah, that's kind of risky biz. While Lucario is pretty impressive at those moves, that doesn't mean it's pretty strong, since it does have a 70 defense, which, well, make him frail to multiple attacks, which is pretty bizarre. That was until Generation 6, where they give Lucario and other Pokemon their Mega Form.
Max Aura!
Mega Lucario. That is the best of the best. And the founder of the Mega Evolution Bond. Don't confuse with Mega requires a way to evolve in the beginning. It's a Pokemon shift. And look at the design of Lucario. Like, damn. It looks like it's transformed into a Super Saiyan. Seriously, multiple spike, hair is all frail out, and the mask? Jesus Christ, look at it! While I'm not a fan of the defense stat modifier, seriously, what the hell? But attack stat and speed stats increase is impressive. But you know what is more impressive? The ability the Mega Form have. While I'm not a fan of the ability regular form have and for the flinching depends on, Mega Lucario, however, had ability known as Adaptation ability, which is the ability that enhances stab move from 1.5 times multiplier to 2 times multiplier. Like, whoa, that's impressive. And since we had mentioned that Close Combat is the strongest move that Lucario have, I see why anyone would use these. And you know what? After watching Legend CA trailer, or is it AZ? Yeah, whatever. And saw the ending where it revealed the Mega Evolution will return, I am pretty much hyped for that, because I want to see the Mega Evolution return after Gen 8 have to scrap the idea. And hell, if Game Freak wanted to, they could bring back the sea crystal as well to bring out the hype again. And yes, people, I am one of those people that actually like the sea crystals. It is a potential that people don't like for no reason, saying that they make this optional for having mega or sea crystals. Like they've never seen that before. Just saying.
Nintendo has ruined Mario Kart. How do you think I feel? They took my ass. I can't.
The days after Legend CA trailer came around later. What's the AC? Damn, it's very confusing.
Holy what? Oh no! I am scared. Get me!
Greninja, the ninja Pokemon. This is the second frog starter Pokemon since Generation 6.
Who's also based and named after a ninja.
Have a signature move that Greninja have until he passed the torch to Escargot, which that makes sense. Although saying that, why Ninjax doesn't want that move since he and Greninja are named and based off a ninja as well? Like, why you didn't give that Pokemon that's could involve with a ninja first before these two Pokemon? I don't know. Anyway, now, Greninja design. Do I understand anything? I mean, it's a ninja frog that had a tongue sticking out like a scarf. What more does it say? I also like to bring up the shiny colors, which is...
Nice.
Best looking shiny colors ever. And as I pointed out before, with Aegislash, red and black color is absolutely brilliant. In fact, that should be my design instead of BirthOf, which I combined with Shadow Hedgehog colors in the black face style. Me. But anywho, I also like the Greninja Guardian form. And no, I will not do an Eon Lost or the tangent like that, because my name is not Ash, my name is... Thank you very much. This is a form where Pokemon and trainer bond, transform, and become this. Where Greninja gained a form that is basically a fusion of him and his trainer, which is pretty cool. In fact, there's a lot of fan art on internet, which is pretty impressive, which I don't blame them. This is impressive.
Yes indeed, Shadow, it's impressive to see. I like this one, because it looked like me and my brother are in fusion form, which is amazing.
But this one won't be a thing unless it involves with this ability called Battle Bond ability. Or should I say, Bond Transformation! Which that form was impressive because we saw in an anime where we see Ash and Greninja bond into Greninja Guardian form, where we see an amazing scene. Not just an epic battle between Alon Charizard, but also the scene of Ash and Greninja separate, so Greninja had to say calls from Giant Rock Dog Malice route, since Greninja had an ability to sense dark energy like he did with Chespy. Well, it tear up that Greninja had to leave, but at least he had to do it for noble cause, which is a sad scene, and I thought it'd be a great scene. That was until...
No! That's coming out of your pig!
Yeah, let's say I'm not a fan of that retcon. Like, what the hell, Showbro? What the hell? Why the hell you do that? It's because of some YouTuber complained about it? Is that it? Well, not really. But the main reason why they do that is to nerf the Battle Bond ability. Okay, a minor sideback on that. But that doesn't matter when Greninja is still a popular character, even if he had a bumpy road. And even then, sometimes the power level could be nerfed for necessary reason. Even if they are stupid. Not you.
Oh man!
Wow, that is cool. But it needs more color. It was perfect! Perfect! Everything down to the most minute details!
About a decade later.
What the f***? is that?
Is that even a transformer?
I have no idea. He doesn't even have a face.
And there we are, mates. These are my favorite Pokemon in the video. We hope you enjoy what we put in the list, because I am, and I hope you enjoy too.
Unless you're a grifter-ass motherfucker who make a falsified evidence to get your greedy ass on money, and nothing but money. If you are, then get out of my sight.
Anyway, have a good day.
Ciao.